Hey YouTube, it's me, Steven, aka Buttercup. Welcome to Veda Day 14. Today I would like to rant for as long as I can manage it about my own I don't know what to call them. Things that are going on in my life that preoccupations. Um as you can see, I'm in my natural habitat on the deck in my comforter, and I'm descending, I wouldn't say rapidly, but potentially into a brief bout of depression. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a big one, but as you can tell from my video yesterday, I'm on the verge. I'm certainly on the verge. And so I want to lament about the fact that I want to be making a comic. I want to be making a comic, and it's the premise for it is really overly complicated, and I've run into enough obstacles that it just seems um, untenable. It seems just difficult beyond belief, and I think that part of it is my depression. Part of it is, or I don't want to own this depression. Part of it is the depression that I'm experiencing. Part of it is the novelty of the concept, because it's about a black femme, non-binary femme, who is a cosmic midwife, and she's tasked with the tasked with the task, tasked with the arduous thing of delivering uh, the deities of yesteryear from their uh, cosmic spirit world womb into reality for a brief period, because that's what apparently, in the context of the story, the gods have done since time immemorial. Um, that's the pitch for the story, and I've got a lot of it, written in my head, um, and the big effort is just transcribing it, turning it into images. The problem is that I have a long history of watching anime and reading manga, which are all usually, I don't know if the word's compelling, but like aesthetically, like it just is a very laborious thing that that a lot of people, not on this side of the world necessarily, um, see as like a career endeavor, and something that they work, hours a day to accomplish. And I guess I'm sort of trying to force myself to do it, and everything in me is against trying to force myself to do things. I have a very Zen, go with the flow. Every life is suffering. Just live it until it's over kind of mentality about things. And the reason why I decided to do this was because it seemed like the obvious thing to do in terms of what my skill set is catered to, telling stories, and my identity as a black non-binary person in the modern age sort of dictates that this is what it is, this is the kind of story that I should be telling and that needs to be told, because it's grossly undertold. But I'm a person who thrives on positive reinforcement and constantly being encouraged and checked to work on things. And so when I'm not in a state of uh, just energetic reinforcement, I kind of crumble under the pressure of uh, depression and my own proclivities for just meditating on different ideas and indulging a ton of media, because there already exists a ton of media. So like it seems really difficult for me to reconcile the fact that there already exists a ton of media that I haven't consumed, and like wanting to make some, and knowing that like when I'm done with it, it's gonna be, I'm gonna feel unfulfilled, or that it like won't be as good as it could be, you know? And like that's not a really good, that's not a good reason not to do something, or it's not a good reason, yeah, it's not a good reason not to do something, but it is the reason why I'm not doing a thing. Like it just can't, that reasoning can't be undone. And like I have weekly meetings with my, or now twice weekly meetings with my manager to like talk about what ideas I've come up with for the story, how far I am along in the production of the comic, and it still isn't manifesting. It just still isn't coming out of my brain body system and existing in the world. And like uh, at different phases over the course of the past year, I've been, you know, moderately to very productive to not productive at all, depending on what other things are going on in my life. And right now, it seems like prime time. You know, like the weather's getting better. I have like a lot of the story completed in my head and have written it down various places. And the only necessary thing to do is just to sit down and draw it, and it's just so difficult. Like if I had someone who was just standing over my shoulder all the time, being like, "You can do this, pump it up," like you finished a panel, do another one. If you finished a panel, do another one. Then maybe I'd be able to do it. But for the most part, it's me sitting at home, living with my parents, who are both conservative Christians and not supportive of this work whatsoever. And my their like adoptive daughter, who's a cop, a white cop, is might be moving in with us in the next week or so. And so like that's just like, it's just not an environment that's conducive to doing this kind of work. But I'm not suited for doing much of anything else. Like right now I'm seeing a therapist who is trying to get me to like really think about what my strengths are and cater to them. But the difficulty with that is I'm not in an environment that is enabling for any of the things that I'm good at. I'm in an environment where there's an expectation for me to be Christian and attending church, and potentially contributing to that community. And for the past few months to years, I guess, I've felt like pretty broken and stifled and unsupported. And it's hard to work when feeling like this. And like it's hard, and it causes me to like go really deep into questioning why I'm doing this work, and like what the um, good of it would be once it's complete. Like I don't know. I guess depending on the amount of uh, like zeitgeist energy that I've tapped into at various points in my life, I've been able to like accomplish things that I've been not proud of, but that have, you know, had some amount of resonance within the world. And I don't feel like I can do it. I just really, really down on myself right now. And so it didn't seem like there was anything else possible for this vlog to be about, because that's where I'm at. I'm in the middle of watching or not. I've just dropped an anime that is like one of the quintessential like otaku anime, and I was watching it thinking that like it might be inspiring for me to like see something that people like dedicated a lot of their time and lives to get a obscure, goofy, but necessary feeling point across. And instead, I just feel like I'm wasting my time putting this data into my head, and that like because of all the qualms that I have with the anime industry, like uh, it's hard to like pinpoint what it is, but like there's something about like um, the cyberization of the idea mainframe is like the best way of putting what qualms I have with the anime industry, and like thinking that like there's a lot of real world issues that need to be resolved, and the fact that there's a ton of energy put into making this movement, the anime movement, um, a self-perpetuating machine seems awful, and seems awful in the same way that a lot of other things seem awful, whether it's like car manufacturing or anthropology. Literature seems like not worthwhile in these same respects, and so like making this comic seems like the most worthwhile common denominator based on like I said, what my skill sets are. That like, oh, I should be making something that is relevant, important, and uh, reinforces a lost sense of um, identity and self within the Black and other people of color communities. And it's just gonna take a ton of work, and like uh, I'm not sure if I'm just not sure if I can do it by myself, and I don't know how to enlist other people's help with it, or like how to get across the idea that like I need a ton of positive reinforcement to accomplish this thing, and I'm not getting it, and so the few people who want it to get done, like if they want it to get done, like the best thing to do to ensure that it could get done is make me feel good, which is like doesn't seem like a worthwhile thing. Like I just would feel super guilty going around telling people like, if you really want this to get done, then like make me feel good. But I don't know how else to get out of my depressive vortex. So I just wanted to talk about that, vent it, get it out of my own head, uh, and hopefully this will help precipitate me being able to be more self-motivated in trying to do it. But I feel really directionless, and um, I'm hoping that soon that feeling will stop. That's all. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas about this or like thoughts to contribute, feel free to like the video, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This has been Stephen Michael McDowell, aka Buttercup. Catch you in the next one. Bye.